So put everything in the chest.
Because your food is at like 0.6.
No, it's because when we take breaks, that takes more than
No,
Alright.
it actually pauses it.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does. It happened with him.
Alright.
Can you make it? No, you're going out.
We're in drawn for everyone. Or you want me to post the Sealy?
Yeah.
I'm digging this beat right here. Alright, what do you want? What do you want it to be?
Clearly needs to go to school.
Sealy needs to go to school. Like that?
Yeah.
Exclamation point or period?
Yeah.
There we go.
It's a Cillian.
The Celia, nice.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, there's 2 sausages in the fridge. Do you want to get those before we start reading? Okay.
Me to heat them up for your child.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
That's really nice to your brother. What do you say?
I never said it.
Oh, you already did say thank you. You're right. Tells you how out my brain is right now. It's not good. Not seeing as 3 separates. Great. Alright. There we go. You ready for this, Char? I thought I put it in the mini fridge.
Oh.
Alright, it's still kind of morning, so let's respect other houses, okay? I'm spooky enough. Alright. Let's do this, friends. Make sure. Aye. Alright, great. Let's pick up voices. Bible? Bible. Children of Abraham or of the devil? I know you're Abraham's descendants, he went on, but you're trying to kill me because my word doesn't find a place among you. I am speaking on what I have seen with the Father, and you two are doing what you heard from your father. Abraham is our father, they replied. If you really were Abraham's children, replied Jesus, you will do what Abraham did. But now you're trying to kill me. Me, a man who has told you the truth which I heard from God. That's not what Abraham did. You're doing the works of your father. There wasn't anything immoral about the way we were born, they replied. We got one father, and that's God. So you see so they think they're special because they're Abraham's descendants. That we can all trace their lineage to Abraham. Know that song? Father Abraham had many sons. Have you heard that song before? It's an old song. But here he's saying just because you're Abraham's father, Abraham's descendants, You mean descendants mean, right? It means like great. They're like all saying Abraham is their great grandfather. So since they think, again, descendant, they're descendant of Abraham, so somewhere along the line, Abraham, who had a promised covenant with God, they think they're special. So they think they're special people.
I know.
He's like, if you were special people, you will listen to me and not try to kill me. I say, now you're doing the works of your father. And so who do you think he's going to say who's their father?
The devil.
Good job.
Guess I just got it too.
Yeah. There wasn't anything immoral about the way we were born. They replied, we got one father, and that's God. If God really was your father, they replied Jesus, you will love me, because I came from God. And here I am. Ooh, there he says I am. Remember what I am is? Well, actually, like, it's the way that God introduced himself to Moses in the burning bush. I am is Yahweh. So yeah, I am is God, is Jesus saying pretty much I'm Yahweh. And here I am. I didn't come on my own initiative, you see, but he sent me. Why don't you understand what I'm saying? It can only be because you can't hear my word. You are from your father, the devil, and you're eager to get on with what he wants. So here they think they're special because they're Abraham's descendant.
Nope.
And also be saying that they're child of God. And he says, if you were special, if you were children of God, if you were Abraham's descendant, then you'll listen to me and not try to kill me. But since they're listening to more of the lies of Satan, of the devil, so thusly it makes them descendants, or pretty much in league with Satan. You are from your father, the devil, and you're eager to get on with what he wants. He was a murderer from the beginning, and he's never remained in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he tells lies, he speaks what comes naturally to him, because he is a liar. In fact, he's the father of lies, but I speak the truth, and you don't believe me. Which of you can bring a charge of sin against me? If I speak the truth, why don't you believe me? The one who is from God speaks God's word. That's why you don't listen, because you're not from God.
Okay, I'll wash your plate.
Thank you.
Well, hey Micah, you don't have to. Okay. That's really nice of Micah. I know, but that's just really nice of Micah. The famous... Well, that's nice to hear from all the way over here. The famous psychologist Carl Jung published, among his many works, a picture book illustrating the main points of his thoughts.
I thought that words in Among Us.
Among Us, where?
No, I thought it said.
Wait, can we actually use Among Us?
No.
I'm so bored by that, dude. I can't play any more of that game. Oh my gosh.
That game is so bad.
Dude, it was fun
Thank you.
For like-
for like a month or two, and then you just get burned out.
Sure.
Alright, the famous psychologist Carl Jung published among his many works a picture book illustrating the main points of his thoughts about the strange ways in which the human mind works. One of the most striking pages is a picture of Adolf Hitler. Underneath is a caption which reads something like this. This man is going to set all Europe ablaze with his incendiary dreams of world domination. The reader glances at this and thinks, well, yes, of course, that is what happened. Hitler's much publicized ambition of founding a German empire that would last for 1,000 years did indeed lead directly both to the Second World War and to the slaughter of millions of Jews, as well as gypsies and others he considered undesirable. But then Jung points out that the caption was in fact what Adolf Hitler said about Winston Churchill. Jung gives it as an example of projection. When you accuse somebody else of the thing you are guilty of yourself. So do you hear that? So Hitler, so here he has a picture of Hitler saying, yeah, but he's talking about Jung's work. And he has a picture of Hitler saying this man is going to set all Europe ablaze with his incendiary dreams of world domination. And that's what Hitler said about Winston Churchill. But guess who really just set the world on fire?
Who? Adolf.
Yeah.
With this part where it says among his, it can be among us. If you just cut off this part, flip it upside down, and then get rid of the I, then it's among us.
Dude, that is like not in what we're discussing right now. That was like super left face.
Among us.
No one.
But,
We're among us.
We were talking about it a minute ago.
yeah, but
5 minutes
but
ago.
we moved on.
Yeah. Among us.
All right.
In the conversation.
All right, Jason. See if you're focusing. In Carl Jung's book, who has it? Who does he have a picture of? In Carl Jung's book, who does he have a picture of?
Can't do it. See? You said someone's imposter.
Hey, be nice. There was a picture of Hitler, and this is how Jung was like. He had a picture book illustration of how the mind works. I'd actually like to see this picture, but picture book. But in it, there's a picture of Hitler with a caption below, which says, "This man is going to set all Europe ablaze with his incendiary dreams of world domination." And this is actually what Hitler was saying about Winston Churchill, who was a leader. Was actually not a leader of Britain yet, but he was, God, what was he?
Leader? No.
He became a leader during the, when Hitler died. He was just high up. He was high up the branch, but not prime minister yet. But it turns out that this was, Hitler said that about Churchill, who's the one who started World War II and slaughtered millions of Jews and like gypsies and anyone he considered undesirable. It was Hitler. Does that make sense?
Oh, no, yeah.
Bitch.
Say yes.
No. If it doesn't make sense, I'd rather him be honest. In Hitler and Carl Jung's book, so Carl Jung made a picture book, right? Mm-hmm. He had a picture of Hitler. And so then right below him, he said,
This. Don't need to type it. Ah.
That was that Joshi and the Jovi and the Jovi.
this man, so in Carl Jung's book, he had a picture of Hitler.
What is stupid?
Why didn't copy the thing?
The link.
Well, this is also like, whenever you copy and paste, you always have to, especially someone else's work, and this is again Tom Wright's work, N.T. Wright. And so it's also,
You're right, Corey.
what's the, we could call him N.T. Wright, but it's actually Tom Wright.
That's it, you're right.
Okay. So, all right, come here, Jason. Make sure you do this straight.
Again.
Be nice, Char. So here in this book, in Carla John's book, he has a picture of Hitler with this below. And what this is Hitler saying, this man is going to set all Europe ablaze with his incendiary dream for world domination. And this is what Hitler is saying about Winston Churchill. That makes And so this was right before Hitler started becoming Chancellor of Germany. Before he started World War II and the slaughter of millions of Jews and other people. And this is called projection. Was this something you yourself are dealing with, but you project it on the other? So like if I have an issue with stealing, but then I'm always saying, why does Seely steal all the time?
That's just called playing the blame game.
But it has beads in it. I think it hurts.
Like, and I have a thing about lying, and then I look at Seely, I'm like, why do you lie so much?
Fire.
See? That's projection. Alright. Let me know when you're ready, my friend. Be careful with those screens.
Ah, I got him. Okay, ready.
But Meg,
Okay, ready.
no, dude.
Commentary.
I mean, it seems like Charlie wants Silky playing. I'll wait until he's ready.
Ah, I got him. Okay.
Yeah, give him the yo.
If I catch him, we start. Okay.
Yeah, one more back. We both
That-
That does.
Yes, it does.
Oh! Ow! Got him. Ah! Okay. You know, ready?
Yeah, I will grab him too.
Okay, ready.
I mean,
Charlie, you ready?
I don't think Seely's ready.
Siri's a little crazy. Let's throw him over there.
Same.
Let's put him under their desk and timeout.
Yeah, put him on the desk and time out.
Hey, Silly, chill out.
I got him.
Put him into prison.
Yeah.
Stay on. I will eat you.
Ah!
Seely's a maniac. Maniac.
I will.
Here's Silly. Here's a sleeping pill. I'm gonna take his guts. Throw him away.
He's still invincible.
Hey, Char, you okay, my friend? Let's give him space.
Ready.
Ready.
Let's give him a moment. Whoever he is.
What the?
Okay. Okay, give him space, my friend. Do this while we wait. While we wait.
What?
We'll be some vampire survivors while we wait for Char to be ready, my friend.
Great.
This is 90%.
Have fun downloading. Dungeon Lock. Oh.
Yeah.
Why did you say no?
Yeah.
This game is fun.
I love this game.
What the heck? It's like the dude from Mortal Kombat who can throw that little thing. That rope. Dairy plant. Go Corey. Go Corey.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors, the one from Super Nintendo.
Oh, that's a classic.
But like the better.
You're dead. Oh, go.
Why don't you? There we go.
Bible, we were reading the Bible.
Huh? Okay.
Wait, Charlie, no. Oh, wait, you're switching games? For what?
So you just hit exit the main menu. So
Died?
Don't hit exit.
Yeah. Yeah, you're at. No.
I guess it doesn't pause. That's how it's. Maybe
Still went down.
maybe both had to be in the shed for it to pause. I don't know. To be in bed, maybe. I don't know. Usually server games don't pause ever.
Unless you're in like a single player. Like in Minecraft, it only pauses it when you're in a single player world.
So you want to play Dungeon Defender, Char? Is that something you want to do yourself? Or you want to do together? You want to do yourself? Okay. Are you ready to go through continue the reading step? Okay. Okay. Guess we'll just have. The reader glances at this and thinks, well, yes, of course, that is what happened. Hitler's much publicized ambition of founding a German empire that will last for 1,000 years did indeed lead directly both to the Second World War and to the slaughter of millions of Jews, as well as Egyptians and the others he considered undesirable. But then Jung points out that the caption wasn't in fact what Adolf Hitler said about Winston Churchill. Jung gives it as an example of projection, when you accuse somebody else of the thing you're guilty of yourself. That is just one example of the way in which powerful lies can be invented and can spread in people's minds. And in his remarkable novel, The Portage, I want to say that terribly wrong, The Portage to San Cristobal of A.H., the Jewish writer George Steiner takes the same thing further, imagining a small group of Jewish Nazi hunters discovering the aged Hitler in the far reaches of the South American swamps and bringing him out to face whatever justice there could be. The climax of the book is Hitler's astonishing speech in his own defense, in which he not only claims that other regimes made his genocide look tame by comparison, but also accuses the Jewish people themselves of having invented the idea of world domination and of killing other nations to make it possible. Perhaps only a Jewish writer, and a deeply sensitive one at that, would have dared not only to write such a thing, but also to bring the novel to a close without any attempt to refute the charge, leaving it to the reader to think through how and why Hitler's brilliant oratory, oratory is? It's like speech. Because, like, his speeches were so powerful that it made people, like, want to join on board whatever he's about. Was in fact a tissue of lies, half-truths, and gross misrepresentations from start to finish. It is the memory of Hitler's unspeakable atrocities based on the ultimate lie that Jews were an inferior species and that it was a moral duty to obliterate them. That has given readers of this passage so much trouble. It looks as though the Jesus of John chapter 8 is accusing the Jews in general of being the children of the devil, of being inveterate liars and murderers. We instinctively recoil and wonder if this can be the Jesus we know and love from the rest of the New Testament. This is understandable, but it is an overreaction. We prefer, at least, the liberal-minded Western world prefers, to think of Jesus and his teaching in terms of sweet gentleness and reasonableness, helping people to understand the love of God by homely illustrations and parables drawn from everyday life. This sharp exchange is an embarrassment at the level of culture, almost of good manners. But we need to think again. The chapter is about a man facing a mob. Some of the leaders and opinion formers have already decided that he is leading Israel astray and ought to be killed. Several of them are ready to get on with the job immediately. A party had already been sent to arrest him, but had failed to do so. The crowd in front of him now were ready to stone him. This is no gentle devotional discussion of deep personal religious truth, set within a framework of civility and mutual respect. This is a man facing a crowd set upon lynching him, and bravely speaking up against their hypocrisy. It should hardly need saying that the Judeans here are not intended to represent Jews in general. Then or now, Jesus and his followers were after all Jewish as well, and so were the people like Nicodemus who had already begun to follow him. The Judeans are the first century Jerusalemites, to whom Jesus came as his own, and who did not receive him. Jesus' basic charge against them is that they are trying to kill him. That this shows that they do not know the God whom he knows as his Father, and that this in turn shows that their boast to be children of Abraham is spurious. When someone is bent upon murder, they are thereby disclaiming descent from the true God, and are silently claiming instead that they belong to the forces of darkness. However we imagine the devil, it is clear that there is a force which opposes God and his good creation, which drives people to commit acts of destruction and murder, and which regularly invents lies. The religious ones are often the most effective to excuse such action, and even to make it appear noble and right. There are plenty of these in today's world, including, alas, several that call themselves Christian. If we want to see where this passage applies most obviously to today's world, this is where we should start. The response of the Judeans in verse 41 suggests that people already knew, during Jesus' lifetime, the fact that there was something strange about the circumstances of his conception and birth. Though John doesn't tell us the story of Jesus' birth in the way that Matthew and Luke do, when we take this passage with the hint some have seen in 1:13, it may appear that he too knew of it, and that some of Jesus' opponents were already using it as a sneer against him. Right. We got one more. Right. This is the beginning. Alright, I think we talked enough about this, so we'll go right into the next one. What part's this?
Bibles.
You could just point, my friend, if you want to point. You okay, buddy? This was the Judeans' response to Jesus. Haven't we been right all along? They said, and saying you're a Samaritan and you got a demon inside you? I haven't got a demon, replied Jesus. I'm honoring my Father, and you are dishonoring me. I'm not looking for my own glory. There is one who is looking after that, and he will be the judge. I'm telling you the solemn truth. Anyone who keeps my word will never, ever see death. Now we know that you really have got a demon, replied the Judeans. Look here, Abraham died, so did the prophets, and here are you saying, anyone who keeps my word will never ever taste death. You're not suggesting, are you, that you're greater than our father Abraham? He died, and so did the prophets. Who are you making yourself out to be? If I do give myself glory, replied Jesus, my glory is nothing. My Father is the one who brings me glory, the one you say is our God. And you don't know him. I know him, though. If I were to say I didn't know him, I will be a liar like you. But I do know him, and I keep his word. Your father Abraham celebrated the fact that he would see my day. He saw it and was delighted. You're not yet 50 years old, responded the Judeans. Have you seen Abraham? I'm telling you the solemn truth, replied Jesus. Before Abraham existed, I am. Remember that I am, Micah?
Yeah.
What does the I am represent?
He was in the room for that.
That's fine. Okay, then can you explain to them what does the I am represent? Yeah, so at Moses at the burning bush, when Moses asks, who should I say has sent me? And that's when God responds, I am. Which means self-existent one. That means there is no one before him, no one after him, no one created him. He's there. He's the existence before all existence. So here he says, before Abraham existed, I am. He there just said, poof, I'm God. He made it. That's a literally claim to divinity right there. And that's why we say Jesus is 100% God, 100% man.
Commentary.
I haven't finished the last verse yet. So, after he claimed divinity, so they picked up stones to throw at him, but Jesus hid and left the temple.
Commentary.
Listening? Abraham lived roughly as long before Jesus as Jesus did before us. Speaking of them as in any sense, contemporaries conjures up images of time travel, such as has been made famous in the world of science fiction since as least H.G. Wells and Jules Verne, and more recently through the movies like the Back to the Future series. We have become used, at least, to holding in our heads the idea that a person from one period in history could somehow be contemporary with a person from a completely different period.
Wait a second. So explain why the Bible is talking about movies when they didn't even have likes at this time.
This is a commentary. So
So
Bible is the ancient text. So when we're reading this is
okay.
This is N.T. Wright
In modern day,
discussing like what the heck we just read, and try to explain it a little deeper and have a lot more so we're able to grasp it and make it our own and meditate on it. Abraham lived roughly. Oh, we read all this. We have become used, at least, to holding in our heads the idea that a person from one period in history could somehow be contemporary with a person from a completely different period. That is the kind of picture we are tempted to think of when we read a passage like this. But it'll point us in quite the wrong direction. Jesus isn't saying that Abraham somehow traveled forward in time to be present when Jesus, was alive. Nor is he saying that he himself has traveled backwards in time in order to be present with Abraham 2,000 years earlier. He is saying something of a different quality, a different order altogether. The Judeans who have been getting crosser, that means angrier. That's like British slang for crosser, for getting angry.
Okay.
The Judeans who have been getting crosser and more agitated throughout the scene are clearly ready to take whatever Jesus says and use it in evidence against him. They seem to think that his words do indeed imply that he has been traveling in time, and they mock him for it. He's not yet 50 years old. Far less 500. Far less 2,000. But Jesus is talking at another level altogether. The point he has been making throughout the chapter, the point which is his defense against the capital charge. You ready? Okay. I see that you're enjoying making Sealy shake his back fins. That's pretty funny looking. Okay. The point which is his defense against the capital charges some are seeking to mount against him for his breaking of the Sabbath is that the Father, Israel's God, the one whom the Judeans claim to worship, to know, and to serve. Yeah, your bug.
Bug? Here, I'll stomp on it.
Can't wait to get that screen installed. Okay.
Will it stop ants?
It'll stop a lot because it's gonna be a square that mounted on the outside. Yeah, it'll stop mostly only flying thing though. Ants. Really, the only way to stop ants is don't leave food. And ant
No.
traps.
No. Stop ants. Create machines that create the ant spray, put it in cans, and automatically spray them all over your house. Good luck enjoying a nice house without ant spray all over it.
Well,
That you project.
Spray bug spray.
Huh?
Spray bug spray.
Just spray bug spray for the net.
Be like,
look at this net.
spray
Do you
a
think
whole
any bugs are getting through this?
Yeah. Ants.
Well, of course, crawly things. Crawly things can squeeze through anything.
Anything can fit through there.
But
Funny thing is,
Mosquitoes can go through there.
no, they can't.
Okay, do this.
They just go through.
That's the purpose.
They just
to-
Here,
to
do
the-
this. Here, do this.
I know, doesn't that feel fun?
Ooh.
Oh, I can help with that.
I already got it.
I could help too. Oh,
Alright, let's... I know, like, you love teasing Micah with Sealy, but when he teases back, sometimes it makes it really hard for us, doesn't it? So yeah, so please... Because you don't want Micah to be teasing Sealy back, okay?
Boom.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready. Commentary. I know, I said it. Just for fun.
Okay, but Jesus is talking at another level altogether. The point has been making throughout the chapter, the point which is his defense against the capital charge that some are seeking to mount against him for his breaking of the Sabbath, is that the Father, Israel's God, the one whom the Judeans claim to worship, to know, and to serve, is operating in and through him in a decisive and unique way, to summon Israel back to a genuine knowledge and allegiance to himself. The Father is the one who alone gives life. He has given his words to Jesus. So if someone keeps Jesus' word, death will go by them without making any difference. So you hear that part? Death will go by them without making any difference. When we follow Jesus, death has no hold. So that means that you can kill me and I'll be okay with it.
But you still will die.
Yeah, and then I look forward to the resurrection where I have a new body that will never decay. Will never.
What?
And I can teleport. Yeah, that'll be cool. That'll be fun.
Teleport to the moon.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like,
And just being like, Noah!
you know, what's actually really cool is it's like a human 2.0 body. So it's like a human 2.0.
Boom, teleport.
It's like a human 2.0 body. Because when Jesus got his resurrected body, he teleported, he had full sense, he didn't start as a baby. It was himself, just in a glorified body.
That's however you died.
I don't know. Like, those things,
I'm just a new baby.
I just, however that looks, I just leave that to God.
Yeah.
But we like it's very limit. We have very limited resource on how the glorified world is going to look. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
We could look at Jesus's his body, and then we could go, okay, we look forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ have answered. Oh wait. I thought we already read that. Sorry.
Ready?
Mm-mm.
Ready?
Ready? All right, in making claims like this, Jesus is not so much talking about himself, but is talking about the Father who sent me. This, however, is so striking that his hearers convince themselves that it constitutes evidence of demon possession. The extra charge that Jesus is a Samaritan is a way of saying you're obviously from the wrong tribe altogether. You're bound to be talking nonsense. All four Gospels tell us that Jesus' hearers accused him of being either possessed by or in league with the devil. Clearly, this isn't something the early church would have made up. Equally clearly, then, Jesus must have been saying and doing things that were remarkable enough and disturbing enough to make people throw such an accusation at him. What precisely was he saying here, and why, in the end, did they try to stone him to death? Jesus could have answered the question of verse 53 by simply saying that God gives life to the faithful departed, a life with him in the present, and a newly embodied life in the resurrection to come. But he doesn't. He goes further, claiming in verses 54 to 56 that the one true God is at work in and through him, and that Abraham himself, entrusting this one God and his promises for the future, has celebrated the fact that he will see the day of Jesus. This seems to mean that Abraham, entrusting God's promise that through his family, all the people of the earth will be blessed.
You put it on and then you actually close the tab.
This seems to mean that Abraham, entrusting God's promises that through his family all the people of the earth will be blessed, was actually looking ahead to the day when Jesus would bring that promise into reality. He is claiming, in other words, that he, Jesus, is at last embodying what the one living God, Abraham's God, had envisioned and promised all those years ago. What then does he mean in the crucial verse 58? He is identifying himself so closely with the one true and living God that he can speak of himself as being there before Abraham existed. This is as close as we come in the lips of Jesus to a direct statement of what John says in his prologue. Again, we would be wrong to see this passage as part of a gentle, abstract theological discussion. It takes place at the leading edge between essay and theory, with the crowd accusing Jesus of being demon-possessed and Jesus exploring more and more what it means that he is speaking and acting as the very mouthpiece of the Father, and that they can't and won't understand and believe him. In this setting, what verse 58 seems to mean is this: Jesus is so conscious of the Father with him, working in him, speaking through him, that he can speak in a kind of ecstasy of union in the name of the Father, I am, one of the central meanings of Yahweh, the secret and holy name of God. Jesus has seen himself so identified with the Father that he can use a name as a way of referring to himself and his mission. Before Abraham existed, before Abraham existed?
Oh. Cool.
I mean,
What? Oh, say it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I am.
Or Yahweh. The crowd react as predictably as many readers and thinkers have reacted since. In Jesus' own day, they accused him of blasphemy and threatened him with stoning. In our day, they accuse him of nonsense. How can a person be both divine and human? And you accuse John of making out that Jesus said things which he couldn't have done. John's only answer is to invite us to read it. Alright, we talked enough and we can get what we needed. Do you want to play Dungeons and Defenders by yourself? You want to play with me? Alright, then let me set things up.
Graphic, okay.
Alright. Alright, 1 second. Let me go there.
Wait, what? Wait,
Charlie, you want to play Ark for now?
You take that.
Solid windows. Alright. Let me die on this. Close it. Nom 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 nom. They're eating me. Nom, nom, nom.
Kill them all.
Oh. Oh wow. Ah.
That game looks fun.
Oh, it's a great road game.
You're not gonna use that supreme crossbow target?
No, I know.
Because if you're not gonna use it, I'll use it.
He says he's going to use it, my friend.
41,000 damage.
I said a million.
Look how much ammo it has, Furley. Another one.
The crossbow. How much is the crossbow ammo?
Alright. Followers. Reminds me, open regime. Any loan from any platforms. Just now opening chat so I can see any messages coming my way.
You can ask the person if they can join us. On Dungeon Defense.
Okay, let me just switch things over.
1 billion staff.
It's actually worse. Those are
Get it, Charlie.
they're all worse, dude.
He doesn't have enough.
Look at the stats, they're worse.
Yeah, but look how much ammo he gets.
They're all worse. Look, what you already do does more damage. What you have does 31,000, that only does 6,000 damage. Yeah, it's just simply worse though. Let's look at the numbers. It's a waste of money, my friend.
I just. Yeah,
I mean, you can use it, you're just going to do less DPS. That's what it
yeah, but look how fast my thing goes on me. You guys see how fast it goes right there?
Alright.
How much damage in a bomb does?
Okay, let me.
2.7 million.
I see a million damage.
More than a million. It was 1.7 million. Charlie, look back at that pet, the party pet. And you want the other pet? That
Yeah,
one's better than both of
It's
them.
the only one that I can quit.
Just do some more level grinding.
Alright, do you want to go through the path of trying to beat the game char?
I just need to level up like.
Charlie, we can just do it while we're playing that, or while we're trying to.
I don't want Kingdom Hearts. Oh wait. Open the wrong one.
Sammy, that you never understand.
Do you guys mind doing something else for a little while, maybe? So,
No.
My friend, this is the cost of downloading the spyware. You're just going to have to wait. You did this to yourself, bud.
That 40% though. Let me see what that is really fast. And then unequip it. Mystical acid, the mystical acid fun.